Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Spilling the IT. I'm Paul Burke. That's Adam Burke, and we're talking about channel news and tech updates. And today, in 30 minutes, today we're going to cover mergers, partnerships, and business models. So it's going to be a busy half an hour. But first, Adam, how was your weekend? How's life?
Good weekend. Got nice weather finally. Got outside, got the kiddos outside. Had a good weekend. How about you?
Adam, it was so the weather here is amazing. It's really, really beautiful. So what I did was I got an Oculus Quest and spent time inside. It's literally what I
Makes
did.
sense.
And
Yep.
it was amazing. It was great.
Makes
Adam,
sense.
the
Yeah.
digital world, I love it. It's so great.
Oculus, huh? So is that the Facebook one, or which one is that?
Yeah, it's a Facebook one. I'm just handing Zucks all my information. I'm like, here, take it. If I can live in a digital world, Zuckerberg, thanks. So
Yeah, they're probably plugging in the Matrix with him at the helm. There's probably nothing wrong with that. 100% hand over, what you find is important, what you value, the way your eyes track, the way your personality is framed up. Just give them all that information, just all of it. Just hand it all over.
in the corner of every game is a tiny little Zuckerberg face, and he's just scowling at you the whole time, being like, remember who gave you this gift. And in turn, I will take all your data.
In turn, I will take your soul.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zucks.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I played the Oculus Quest, Adam. Good times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
But Adam, we don't have time for all these
We don't.
all this small talk.
don't.
We got to talk about mergers and partnerships and business models. Got lots of things. Lots of things.
We do. We do. I saw the so big news. Big news was at least recently the largest deal I've seen in a while was the Cynics and Tech Data merger. So that was $57 billion distributor type of a model, taking the two Goliaths of technology distribution and merged them together in a massive company. So that happened, which was, I don't know, pretty significant.
And what do you, when you see something like that happen, when these two Goliaths are merging, are you excited in some respects? Are you concerned in other respects? Like what are you thinking of this merger?
It's just in regards to what piques my interest about it is kind of why they did it. What was the motivating factor behind it? Tech Data had long been part of Apollo Group, which was private equity firm, and they had a massive, I think, $7+ billion deal, big time dollars for when they went private, and just what it's going to mean to the channel, right? So maybe not everybody knows what technology distributors do, but what they help is they basically help get all sorts of diverse technology, Microsoft, Cisco, VMware, and thousands of other suppliers out there. They help get that to market through basically creating a distribution channel where resellers like Quest and like thousands of other VARs out there help basically sell and implement services. Well, Tech Data, Cynics, Ingram Micro, these guys all act as that focal point of, hey, my customer wants to buy X, Y, and Z, rather than holding a direct relationship with every single different, let's just say, manufacturer. You go to a distributor and say, hey, my customer wants to buy this capability. Can I get quotes for these types of things? And they help you source that cost of goods and everything like that. And this is just kind of a move, basically saying that those points of entry, those points of sale are kind of coming together, which is, it's interesting. It's what's motivating that. Why is that happening? Is that helping the end user? Is that helping the partner who's selling the equipment? Is it helping the manufacturers who use these distributors to get to market? Like what are all the levers that go into this? Because everything's always changing. We talk here a lot about security. The security landscape is always changing. Well, there's also a ton of other factors that go into it around how people buy, how people consume, and how manufacturers get their products, to the end user. You could have an amazing product, you could have an amazing technology or
Hmm.
capability, but if no one knows about it, if no one knows how to buy it, um, it could be difficult. I
Which
think.
is, yeah. No, what were you gonna say?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to
Go
say,
ahead.
I mean, I think that's one of the important things about distributors is that it can make the end user aware of a tool or something that they don't know, but the distributor has access to. It could be like, hey, have you thought about this as a
Yeah.
potential solution? So,
Yeah, I think we're seeing some. I'm going to use a big word here, and I'm probably going to screw it up. Disintermediation. I
ooh,
think we're. Yeah, yeah.
love it.
Basically, it's the Jeff Bezos Amazonification of the distribution, where you cut out the middleman, and the middleman gets squashed, for these types of services. And I think what's happening is you keep seeing these large distributors
Hmm.
bolt together because, the market's continuing to get more and more competitive. And what we're seeing with cloud services is you don't necessarily need as many distributors to tell your story.
Mm.
It's a more competitive market in telling your story to the end user. There are organizations that are 100% in the cloud, born in the cloud, and they never really even take inventory, and or take ownership of inventory, and have to distribute it the way that legacy systems have for a long time. So I think people in the middle in the distribution chains are getting a little bit squeezed, and they're
Hmm.
having to figure out ways to move a lot more volume in order to stay relevant. I think it's scaling up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it sounds like then you think that's kind of the direction it's going to go. More and more mergers just to kind of stay relevant and push more products.
Yeah, I think that the margins are compressing, and it's costing more money to distribute products and technology. But at the same time, the way to distribute it is improving too. So it's kind of like you're racing two things at the same time. One is the margins are compressing on this side, but you're also able to touch thousands and thousands of people. Like right now, think about this. What are we spending to do this podcast that thousands upon millions of people are watching right now?
$0, Adam. We're reaching
Okay.
millions with $0.
Well, yeah, but so
Well, more or less. I
we're
mean, the internet and
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, we have our basic subscription. We have our cameras. I got a nice little camera here. I got the headset. You have your
Hmm.
stuff that basically blends it all together. But the ability for you and me to talk about Quest to as many people as this little broadcast could reach
Hmm.
potentially, 10 years ago would have been thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for video distribution, pushing out content. Right now, you can, we can with this model, we can put this on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
We can send this out to all of our email contacts. We can put this through our channel partners, all on a digital platform with no investment on our part.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
while distribution is getting tight on on volume and moving product and moving hardware and software and subscriptions, it's compressing there. Being able to tell your story and reach thousands of people is is growing the other way. So it's kind of like, is it gonna level out? I don't know, but it's kind of fun to see how all those parts and pieces are moving around the chessboard right now. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of it. So like this is while the price of distribution is significantly cheaper, the need for more and more interesting content to capture those eyeballs and attention, that is a real interesting expense.
Yeah, like how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
There's influencers, right? You're seeing the TikTokers and the Instagram folks, making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for their followers, right?
Mhm.
People are valued on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter based on their followers. I think I got about 68 on Twitter. Watch out,
Hey,
watch out.
nice.
It's getting pretty crazy. But that's kind of their value is like, hey, how much can my personality or my ability to communicate information, you know, um, relate to people. That relatability and communicating is huge.
You know
And
what's
it's
interesting is even I was reading today about YouTube, how there's some creators like I don't know if you ever heard of him, Mr. Beast.
uh-uh.
Okay, so Mr. Beast, millions and millions of followers, but what he's starting to do, and other creators who are huge are starting to do, are creating these almost like these partnerships. Because we were going to talk about partnerships, and I found this so interesting and ties into it that they're helping other creators like know how to create, what kind of videos to put out, what kind of like topics to discuss. Like they're creating like little tiny, like almost like ecosystems of partnerships within YouTube to kind of like help, and they take a percentage of the money that channel makes. So
Hmm.
it's really interesting how like even within the content creating side, it's starting to kind of like funnel down, and there's almost like partnerships, not the $57 million partnership that just happened, but it is interesting how like in every arena it's starting to happen like that.
Yeah. Are you do you know what the Pareto distribution is? I probably pronounced that wrong.
Is it 80/20?
Kind of, yeah. It's the idea that like as one group you become more and more successful, that group continues to basically get more and more opportunities, right? So that like the big content creators, you constantly see like um, more and more opportunity get presented to those who are leading the way, if you will. So there's
Got
the
it.
there's the innovators, the imitators, and the idiots, you know. And the innovators, they attract a lot of imitators, and those imitators kind of feed that whole funnel. So you get that whole spike in, you know, the whole
Oh,
1%,
interesting.
1% controls a lot of the opportunity. Just based on the inertia of having the initial opportunity and that initial influence. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that. And um, yeah, I liked your comparison to that whole partnership idea, because there are so many different opportunities that people are going to look to those who have gone before
Hmm.
and say, okay, what worked for them? How did that work out? Okay, I don't want to end up there, but maybe I do want to adjust course and land over here a little bit.
It's amazing. There are industries within, not whole industries, but there are channels that their success is telling the viewer how other people were successful. Not
Hmm.
the people who are successful, but these channels are breaking down like, oh, this is why the person's successful, and people are just loving it. So I think that's what you're saying. Like there are there are the imitators and they're the idiots, and then there are the innovators. There's a
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah.
imitators. So
Well, there are, and everyone can kind of. The cool thing is everyone can kind of find their own little section of ground to cover. And if
yeah,
you're good at it, if people like what you're saying, then hey, you can get a following, and you can get some folks to check out what you're up to. So,
yep. It's about showing up consistently.
mhm.
So did you want to talk about partnerships as well, or did we kind of already kind of like dive into that?
Well, I mean, so like the partnership area that I wanted to talk was we've been, you see the big merger with, Tech Data and Synex, and how that's all affecting the channel world. It also just matters like what kind of partnership are you looking for? Like, are you looking for someone to provide quotes? Are you looking for someone to provide counseling and go into the situation with you and kind of peel apart the onion and go to war with you, if you will? Or are you looking for a vendor to put together quotes? Tech Data, those guys over at Synex, they're distributors. They do a great job of putting together quotes. There's consulting firms out there that are a little bit different, and then there are firms like Quest that kind of help put multiple building blocks together. So partnership and clarifying that role and how to engage is really important if you're going to be successful working with people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, did you want to talk about business models? That was the last one you want to talk about. And
Well, the business model thought is I don't know, what do you when you hear technology distributor, what do you think about?
um, I think of a funnel. I think of somebody who is going to be able to give me access to things I don't know about. They can answer questions. So what I think about is somebody who's going to answer questions for me and then point me in the right direction.
Hmm.
That's what I think of.
How do you think they make money?
That's an excellent question. I would say, I don't know. You know what?
Well,
I don't know.
there's like 10, there's a bunch of different ways they can, and not to play the English teacher asking the weird question, but like there's tons of different like tons of different models that these folks can make money. And sometimes when I'm working with partners, one of our first questions is, yeah, of course, the customer's always right, and we're here to help the customer, and everybody's, going along that course. But most people in sales are, coin driven, and they everyone's got mortgages to pay and things to do. So how are you making money? How are you adding value to the situation? So that's always when you're partnering up. I just got off a call about a half hour ago where a partner wanted us to invest a significant amount of investment dollars to help with this transaction, but we weren't really adding any value, and there wasn't really anything for us to do to help move that along. So it was a pretty big risk on our side of the house with not a lot of return, and they were kind of confused around my reluctance to jump into that situation. Well, with partnerships, understanding how all sides are motivated really helps. So distributors, we talked about it earlier, they got to move a lot of volume, and if they don't move volume, they're going to have to either figure out who to partner with or who to buy or how to increase that volume. Firms like ours, it's fun because we have kind of different building blocks. We can stay relevant in multiple different areas, from consulting to selling product to providing managed services to doing a couple different things. We a much smaller acquisition. We just brought on a organization that really helps in coordinating unified communications, right? Helping consult around unified communications and people moving from one platform to another. Could we have built that ourselves? Maybe. Could we have bought a company? Yes, that's what we did. Or could we have partnered for it? For the last 10 years, we've been partnering for it. Now we're kind of building that, and that was based on what we've been asked to help with in different areas. So, kind of understanding how people make money, how partners come together. Always fun. I love having those kind of discussions and figuring that kind of thing out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I know it's 11:30, so I wanted to.
No, I'm looking forward. Things are opening up a little bit right now. I know a lot of people are freaking out about things opening up, and everyone's concerned about, the next, I think, was it 12th wave of COVID or whatever wave we're on. But I'm excited for, next couple months of seeing how things, go with the country and opening up, and, folks being able to eventually, meet in person safely and securely, and all that kind of good stuff. So it's just, we saw a lot of people move back to working from home and kind of in that, work from home model. And now, the great reopening, if you will, of the economy and people coming back to work. I think it's gonna change things. We still are seeing threats from, the Microsoft Exchange issues, and those attacks are still ongoing. I think that's going to be with us for a long time. So I know we always talk about it on here, but if anybody ever needs help with cybersecurity or any type of incident response, or just, hey, can you take a look at my systems and let me know if potentially we've gone through an incident? We do that all the time. We've had hundreds of clients reach out in the last couple of weeks looking for assistance there, and we continue to engage and help folks evaluate what they're up to and what's happened. So that's not going to go away, I don't think, for a few months at least.
Yeah, and if you want to reach out to us, you can always all the contact information is below in the description, and we'd always love to talk to you and help you out. So,
yep.
Perfect. Cool, Adam. Real quick, what are you watching? Anything happening on TV?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Most of it's Office reruns and but there's a new Pirates show on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
Oh,
it's about the
yes.
history of pirates. It's kind of like one of those like it's like documentaries for idiots. It's where like it's like a documentary, but they wanted to jazz it up a little bit to keep people interested. So like they do like real actors kind of acting through stuff. I didn't mean for idiots. I just meant for people of low intelligence. Like but it's really cool. It's actually and it keeps my interest pretty tied in because it does like the real actors kind of talking through things, and then
Oh,
it
okay.
has like a narrator on it too. So it talks about the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Spanish War, the Civil War within England, and how the Caribbean kind of all evolved. It's pretty interesting. It's for mature audiences only. It's pirates and pirates being real pirates. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's very cool. If you like that, there's a great podcast out there. This will be my recommendation. Is the Pirate History podcast? It's
hmm
fantastic. If you enjoy the pirate stuff. So,
Yeah, you actually you sent me that a while ago. I've listened to a few of those. They're pretty good.
oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
The other thing I found is Nora from Queens. Have you seen it?
No,
So, full
no.
disclosure, not safe for work, 100%. And I'd say, tiptoe into it. It's very, very funny. It's hilarious. If you like the comedian
Okay.
Aquafina. And honestly, before the show, I wasn't like a huge Aquafina fan, but she's
hmm
phenomenal. She wrote it, and she's super likable, and she's just a great character, and I love it. It's so interesting. So,
All right.
great show.
Very
Very
cool.
funny. Very
Right on.
funny.
Right on.
Yeah. So cool. Well, we'll be back next Monday, not Monday night, Monday morning. And if you have any questions about tech, leave them in the comments. We'll help you out. Tech news, channel updates. That's all what we're about. And Adam, any final things you wanted to say before taking off?
No, no. Appreciate it. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for checking this out. If you got any feedback, comments, questions, concerns, hit us up and www.questsys.com. And love to hear from you.
Cool. Have a good day. See you guys.